happy to see. I'm happy to see we're becoming a little bit more inclusive. The world needed it. The world needed it. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. Today is going to be a really good one because we are going to be comparing two different skin tints. And I'm very excited about it. So we are going to be comparing the Kosas Tinted Face Oil to the Ilia Serum Skin Tint, and I'm very excited about it. So the world kind of erupted with skin tints in the last 2 years, and everyone has kind of been moving away from the full beat and that really aggressive foundation. There's nothing wrong with it, but you know, people want something a little bit more lightweight. Trends are kind of shifting towards a little bit more of a minimalist makeup look, but still like full makeup, eyeshadow, all that stuff is still there. It's just a little bit more lightweight, and people are kind of moving away from the heavy full coverage stuff. So I'm very excited to compare and contrast them for you. We're gonna be doing like a quick little like synopsis on each product, and then we're gonna be holding them up and talking about which works for what person, so that you as a consumer can figure out which one works best for you. Without further ado, let's talk about the Kosas Tinted Face Oil versus the Ilia Serum Skin Tint. All right, you guys, I'm very excited. So I just want to jump in and get started so that we can talk about the products and then really get down to the nitty-gritty about which kind of works best for your needs. All right, so first let's talk about this guy. This is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. When I first actually got this, their shade range was a lot more limited, and I love to see that they expanded it because you know I'm all about inclusivity here. We need to be more inclusive, and they definitely expanded it, and it makes me so happy to see. The shade I wear is 7, and this is like a true like good match for me. I definitely skew a little bit more neutral, or neutral with a little bit of warmth in it. I cannot go warm a lot of the time. I just ends up looking too dark on me. Shockingly enough, it looks too dark, and it also looks like a little bit orange or a little bit too yellow on me. So like a neutral warm or neutral is like my happy place, like where I tend to lie. This is really, really great. So I'm going to put a couple drops on the back of my hand for you just so you can see. All right, so that's about 2 drops. And this is the consistency of it. It's very liquidy. And this is a very good match for me. So then when I blend her out a little bit, just so you can see, this is the kind of the coverage. So this can go light or medium. So you can definitely build it up to medium coverage. And I really like that about this, because there are days where you don't want to do heavy makeup, but you need more substance. Not substance. Substance is not the word I'm looking for. You need more coverage. Coverage is the word I'm looking for. You need more coverage because, you know, you have hyperpigmentation, you're having kind of breakouts, whatever that is, and you need something that is just going to help smooth over the area, not necessarily cover it up all the way, but just kind of blend it into your skin. Blend it into your skin. Yeah, blend it, make it more seamless, make your skin look more seamless. And this is a great one for that. What I will say is with this, first of all, I shook it before I started shooting, but make sure you shake this. With all skin tints, you need to make sure you shake it so you're shaking up the pigments. That is important. Shake it up. Now, the coverage of this, again, you can build it up to medium, which I love. Now, for kind of the consistency and like how it wears throughout the day, shockingly enough, this doesn't get super greasy throughout the day. I don't set this, and you know, if I feel like it's gonna be a greasy day, or in the summer when I was wearing it, I definitely did set it, but general for like everyday life, I don't set it. I like the glow that it gives me. It gives me a really flawless finish to the skin. You look just so beautiful, but not like you're wearing a mask. I don't know how to explain it. It's very much a great no makeup wear, and it wears so nice throughout the day. This lasts really long, so at the end of the day you're still going to have the product on your face. It doesn't slip and slide around. I really, really like this. Now, this is an oil based, so don't wear like a gel based like skin moisturizer underneath, because it's going to ball up. The only gripe I have with this product, and I think is important to know, is that it clings to dry patches. So if you're the type of person that, you know, dry patches are all over your face, or you get dry patches and it kind of is a throughout the year kind of thing, then I wouldn't necessarily wear this, because it definitely clings to it, and it will highlight that because it's clinging to it. But you know, when I don't have dry patches, like this is the one I'm gravitating towards and grabbing all the time. This is so, so good, so lightweight, blends out beautifully with your fingers, blends out beautifully with a beauty blender or beauty sponge, whatever, and it blends out really nicely with a brush. Now, the brush I like to use with this is the only brush I will use for foundation, which is the, what is it, the It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7. I believe that's what it is. That is really, really good with this. I don't find that this streaks, although it kind of feels like in my brain when I first started trying this so long ago, in my brain I was like, this is going to be a streaky mess if I use a brush, but I did not find that with this. This doesn't streak. It's a really, really nice product, and I really, really like it. And I wore it in the summer. I liked it. I've worn it. It wears beautifully throughout the day, and it wears beautifully in the winter as well. Again, I just avoid it if I am having kind of like dry patches and stuff like that. Really good product. Okay, so next, all right, let's talk about this. So this is the Ilia Serum Skin Tint. Now, this is the shade, what is this? ST13. Now, if you're my complexion, you're kind of like that tan medium. You're not necessarily dark or deep. You're like that medium tan. I had a hard time finding a match for me. So this is a little bit too warm for me. The neutral option in the kind of medium tan range was ashy on my skin. I was really surprised with the fact that I couldn't find a match, because I have a match in their foundation, like a perfect match. Perfect match. Perfect match, such a good match that I actually wore it on my wedding day. Like, such a good freaking match. But with this, I don't have a perfect match. I'm hoping maybe they expand like that medium tan category a little bit, because it just feels like that is kind of neglected a little bit. But I make it work, and it ends up, once I set it, it ends up being fine. And once I put all the rest of my makeup on, it's fine. So let's just talk about this. So we can do a little bit. So I'm gonna do a couple drops in the back of my hand so that you can see. So this is what it looks like. Again, very oily. Oily? No, just very liquidy. This is not like a true oil like the Kosas one here. I'm gonna blend it out on the back of my hand so you can kind of see the coverage. So this is the coverage. It's definitely more lightweight than the Kosas one, and you can't necessarily build it up. Just wipe that off so I don't get it on my sweater. That it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, if I'm going in one direction for the day and I just want something lightweight, this is totally fine. It evens out your skin tone. It really gives you like a nice wash of color on the face, but again, it's a wash of color. It's not like super, super pigmented, which I really enjoy, because sometimes skin tints, you just want something lightweight to like go over and just even your skin tone out, and this definitely does that. This also has SPF 40 in it, which I think for a lot of people, SPF is really important in their products, as even if they're wearing SPF underneath, they like it in their, you know, foundations or tints or whatever, and this has that, which is nice. The consistency of this one is, let's see, the consistency of this is more lightweight. You definitely don't get as much coverage out of this one as you do the Kosas one. So if you're looking for coverage, wouldn't necessarily go here. This one you definitely need to set. It doesn't really kind of matter what your skin type is. This is definitely one that should be set, because it does, towards the end of the day, kind of slide around your face. But once you set it, you don't really have that problem. If you're wearing it in the summer, definitely set it, because I feel like it just will get, it's a lot more dewy than this one, I find, and wears, although this is like a true oil base, wears more dewy throughout the day and definitely gets more dewy. So that's just something to know with this one. Now, in comparing and contrasting these, this one does not cling to dry patches. So if you have dry patches, and that's kind of a thing that you always have, and it's not like, oh, just today I have dry patches, or for this 1 week I have dry patches, then I would definitely go in this direction, just because this clings to dry patches, and it definitely emphasizes. This definitely emphasizes those. This one also doesn't have SPF. This one has SPF in it. Coverage wise, this one has more coverage. This one doesn't have as much coverage. This is a buildable medium coverage, and you definitely get that with this. This one kind of just gives you a nice wash of color to the face, Again, it just evens out your skin tone, but you will not get a lot of coverage out of this one. If you have dry patches, I wouldn't go here. I would go here. If you like SPF, I would go here. If you like more coverage, I would go here. They're both very, very liquid. You need to shake up both of the bottles and just make sure you're getting all those pigments shook up. That you're getting those pigments all shaken up and ready to go. These are both really, really beautiful. I love the finish of both of these. They wear super, super nice throughout the day. Although this might not last as long, the wear off isn't like atrocious. Like at the end of the day, you are going to look nice. Like it's not gonna look like a patchy mess. They have a really nice range of shades for a lot of different people, which again, I'm happy to see. I'm happy to see we're becoming a little bit more inclusive. The world needed it. The world needed it. Now, if we want to talk about these two versus each other, you know, a lot of the time I've gotten the question like, which one should I suggest? I would say, you know, if you want something that is a little bit more versatile, I would go here because you can get a lot of light coverage out of this one, but then build it up to be more medium, almost actually a little bit more medium full, but not full coverage. Whereas this one is a lot more lightweight. And yeah, so it also, if you are my complexion and you're, you know, this here, the shade I wear in this is Maraca, and I find that I found a shade really, really easily in this, where I did not find a shade easily in this. So if you kind of have a hard complexion to match, which I do feel like sometimes I have a hard complexion to match, this I feel like has an easier range with like neutrals, warms, in like that medium tan category. They're both really beautiful. They both give you a really nice finish to the face, but again, this one is like more of a foundation and this one is just more of a tint. However, they're both beautiful. It just depends on your preference. If you want something a little bit more versatile, I would go here because I wear this as a tint all the time. I just, you know, give myself a little bit on the back of my hand, apply a couple dots, and then just use my fingers to blend it out. And then I have like a very similar finish to like other tints that I have. And this is not super, super liquidy, whereas this one is. So if you're not a fan of very liquidy products, because I know a lot of people are not a huge fan of liquidy products, then I would go here. Other skin tints I'm testing, they're not necessarily super liquidy, so I will be talking about more skin tints down the road that are kind of a little bit more in that like cream style as opposed to like a very liquidy style. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.